Yo, what the heck is up, Deansters? We're back with yet another video. Today we're going to be playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Nintendo just dropped a brand new wave of DLC for the booster course pack thing for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I was like, you know what? Let's record my first impressions to it. I didn't do this for the first two sets, so why not start doing it now with Wave 3? Now, I have seen the first lap of London Loop because I was having a recording problem. And I fixed it, so this is not going to be my 100% authentic reaction to London Loop. I played one lap of it. I've also never been to London in real life, so I'm not sure how accurate it is to the real life London. But yeah, so far I've been liking both waves of DLC. I was really nervous going into the DLC with Wave 1, because Nintendo kind of used a different texture style, different art style for all the tracks. They looked a lot more like cartoony and plasticky. That's the best way I can put it. They're definitely more inspired by Mario Kart Tour. That's one way to put it. And originally I was nervous about it. I didn't think they would blend in well with the rest of the game. I was wrong. So far I've been really loving them. Some of them are some of my favorite tracks in the game. I would say which ones those are, but I think once all 6 waves have released, my plan is to make a ranked video for all what will then be 96 tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So then I'll, actually go into detail about what I think about each track and so on. So, yeah, back to this track, though. All the city tracks so far, the way they've been designing them is each lap is a little bit different. So this one already looks different than lap 1. And I think that's a pretty cool touch. They did that with Sydney Sprint. They did that with the New York Minute track. Once again, they did that with the Paris Promenade thing. And I think they did that with Tokyo, too. So far they've been doing that with each city. I think it's a nice touch. I think this is the end of lap 2. I wonder if lap 3 is going to be a lot different than lap 1 and 2 was. Yeah, see, so like that right turn right there was open, I think, in lap 1. Or maybe it wasn't. I honestly already forgot. So far this track isn't bad, but I think it might be a little bit like mid in comparison to some of the other tracks we've gotten in the DLC so far. Yeah, this is different. This is very different. I know the landmarks in London, like Big Ben, and I noticed a bunch of like castles and shit. But besides that, I don't really know what's in London. I'm just I'm a silly American. So, moving on, we have one of these like. I think they had something like this in the Sydney track where it was like a weird functioning, like, not a highway, but in this case it's like a bridge almost, but in Sydney Sprint it was like a highway. But it was like, the road was moving and stuff. I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. And we're almost at the end of this track. It's hard to rate it, like on a first impression. Like it wasn't bad. It's not like the worst DLC track we've gotten so far, but it's also definitely not the best one we've gotten so far. Okay, so this one I was really excited about. We have GBA Boo Lake. In my opinion, originally one of the most forgettable tracks from Super Circuit. Broken Pier was literally just the better haunted track from that game. But then they were showing this in the trailer, and this already looks so much cooler than the original did. And it also has like a cool underwater section now. You see anti-gravity right here. Graphically, this is already one of the prettiest tracks I've seen in this game, at least from the DLC. This looks like maybe a shortcut. Okay, you definitely need a mushroom for that to do it properly. See, we're just learning as we go for these. So yeah, so far I think this is already my favorite from this wave, even though we're only 2 tracks in, so it's definitely too early for me to make that call already. Okay. We also need to make sure we get first, too, because I'm doing Grand Prix, and I'm trying to go ahead and get triple stars on every cup. So I don't want to waste time and have to do this all over again to get the triple star, because I'm a completionist. Okay, there we go. Now we're back in first. We won't go for that shortcut again. I really like this underwater section. I think this is a cool touch. I think I've literally said cool touch 3 times now so far, between this and the last track. So yeah, don't be expecting any professional critiques I have on these tracks. Any knowledge... Fuck. Any actual knowledge I have on Mario Kart and track design comes from Wii, not really Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I don't know anything about the meta of this game, so I'm just kind of here to have fun. And we got a blue shell, great. This turn's a really tight turn, actually, and The ground, what I've noticed, it's very slippery throughout the whole track, which means it's hard to get good traction while you're driving. So that turn right there that we passed a few seconds ago was super tight. With that being said, we almost just fell off. And we got second. Well, fuck. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do this cup again. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's no biggie. Screw you, Roy. Okay, so next up we have 3DS Rock Mountain. I think this is one that I originally used to love playing whenever I used to play Mario Kart 7. And then now it's, you know, it's to me one of the more, not forgettable, but whenever I think of Mario Kart 7 and the good tracks from that game, I think of like Music Park and Piranha Plant Slide, which are ones that are already in this game. It's not a bad track, it's just not one that like jumps out to me. It looks nice though, it definitely has the Mario Kart Tour art style, like I was saying earlier. Remember, this is one of the few ones that I did see, I think it was a Game Explain, or it was some channel was doing like an analysis on like the differences between this and the original Rock Ridge, Rock Mountain. I think Rock Ridge is actually is Rock Ridge the one that's a custom track on Mario Kart Wii? Maybe, I forgot. But I was watching a video that was going over the differences between this and the original. I think one that they pointed out was like the poles on the starting posting are made out of wood now instead of metal or something. And the lighting inside of the cave is different. There's so many little things I don't know how people just pick up on. So far though, compared to the last two, blue shell again. Compared to the last two, this is probably still better than the London track. I think it's also just because the city tracks, part of what I'm worried about them going forward is they do kind of get repetitive to me, especially if it's a bunch of cities you've never been to. Because the only city I've actually been to in real life out of all the ones that are in the game is New York. So the other ones, since like I'm not able to play it and go like, oh, I've been to that building right there, it's harder to relate to the track. So I'm worried that they're going to start to get repetitive as the DLC goes on. But so far I like this one. Boo Lake is probably still the #1 from this cup, or this DLC in general. Let's see, so we're in first, gotta get this double item box. Now time to act like I'm a pro Mario Kart player and I know what I'm doing. Oh, okay. So I don't know what item, and we got blue shell again. Sorry, we get second this race. My role as being the greatest Mario Kart player of all time will just evaporate into thin air if I get second again. Let's see. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. So yeah, we have 2 first places and 1 second place so far under our belt. And then I don't even remember what the 4th track of this cup is. Let's find out. Maple Treeway. Great. Okay. As a Mario Kart Wii fan, this is one that's gonna bring back a ton of nostalgia, even though this looks completely different than it did on the Wii. I'll decide if that's in a good way or a bad way. They kept this little, I don't want to say shortcut, but it's like a little alcove, a little like offset of the original road. That was terrible. Okay. Yeah, graphically this looks really different. I might like it. I haven't decided yet whether I approve or not. I don't know how I feel about the texturing for that log. It's a little off-putting. Sniped. And then... okay, this looks different. In the Mario Kart Wii version, this log was like 10 feet above vertically where the other one... I probably didn't describe that well. But in Mario Kart Wii, that looked a lot more like wig-waggy than it does in this game. And also, of course, they took out the drawbridge. And now it's a glider ramp. I mean, so far, I don't mind it. This is a cool one. I don't think anything's really going to be able to top the way Maple Treeway was to me in the original. In Mario Kart Wii, Maple Treeway was like one of the glitchiest tracks. Damn it, Rolly. It was basically a custom track, to be honest. It was just so wacky. And that was part of, you know, what made the track so fun to play on Wii. It was a similar case with Mushroom Gorge and Coconut Mall and Grumble Volcano. But as far as Mario Kart Wii tracks go, this is definitely a good one for them to bring back. In the original, you'd be able to use your mushroom right here and do a shortcut where you like kind of dip off of the road right there to the left, and then use your mushroom and then jump up onto the other road. And it wasn't worth it to do at all. I can't miss this. There we go. It wasn't really worth it to do because it was so easy to fail it. But I remember that was something cool to do in the original. These logs are much more satisfying to go off of in this game though than they were in the original. It's hard to describe the difference, like an art style in this version of this track versus the original though. This one feels more, I don't know if polish is the word, but it feels more like you're driving on a tree. Because in the original, from what I remember, the texturing was more like leafy and more like it didn't really feel like you were driving on a log most of the time. Actually, I don't hate that wood texture as much as I did originally. Those wigglers used to be the worst part of the original track. I remember that. Why did I drive off? Oh, oh yeah, they made this a half pipe. Wait. Oh, that's so cool. So in the original Mario Kart Wii, that used to be like pretty much the only game where you could really go off of like half pipe ramps like that. Now they kind of brought it back. That's one thing, is if they did, hopefully they do bring back DK Summit eventually in the DLC. DK Summit's always been one of my favorite, and we're gonna get second. Well, shit. DK Summit's always been one of my favorite Mario Kart Wii tracks. I really do hope they bring that back. But of course, the half pipe section would be necessary for that track. You know, specifically towards the end, whenever you're driving on it, and, you know, it's the whole like 180-degree incline thing, whatever bullshit. But now we get to try our luck again with the next cup. This time we're gonna try a bike. Let's mix up the gameplay a little bit. We're not gonna do an inside drifting bike though. So we have the Moon Cup, which is, from what I just saw right there, 3DS Rainbow Road, that Christmassy looking track, DS Peach Gardens, and we're about to find out. I forgot what the other one was. Berlin Byways. Okay, so another city track for a city I've never been to. Let's see how this one is though. Looks like it's gonna be another track though. One thing I love about the city tracks, like I said, each lap is different. That does make it feel a little bit more, you know, unique in comparison to the rest of the game. Okay, so let's drive around here. Yeah, Roy, you suck. Oh. 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 Okay, that's close. That's close. I like the music for this track. Sorry, I'm just having to focus a lot on the road now. I can't afford getting second again. It would be too much of a blow to my ego. Okay, that was a pretty short lap. Let's see what's different about lap 2. I almost accidentally threw that red shell forward instead of backwards, and I would have gotten hit by the shell that was coming at me. Seeing some off-road cuts is another thing I've noticed about a lot of the tracks Nintendo's been putting in the DLC. They've been continuing the trend of Mario Kart 8 so far of having plenty of off-road cuts, intended ones, which is nice, but it will never pale in comparison to the slew of unintended shortcuts on Mario Kart Wii. How many blue shells have hit us in this one video so far? Boost panel. It's hard to tell with this minimap where I even am. It's a very pretty track. So I mean, all the city tracks have been pretty. I think if I had to pick a favorite out of the city tracks, it would just have to be New York Minute, just because I've been there. Maybe I should start going to some of these cities though one day. Oh, whoa, I meant to go in there. Looks like there were some like boost panels inside of there. Okay, now we're in like a little park area, shortcut right there. This looks like it's kind of towards the end of the track. The track was alright. I would have to learn the layout. I think out of the city tracks I played so far, that one's the most like frantic-y while driving around. So I'd have to get used to the layout of it. It was alright though. So far if I had to rate the tracks, it would probably be that one at 5th, then the London track, then Rock Mountain, Maple Tree Way, and then Boo Lake. DS Peach Gardens, another one that was in Mario Kart Wii. This one looks so much better than the original visually. And the original was already a good track, I just don't think it was that visually appealing. But this looks gorgeous. So, of course you have that off-road cut, one of the most overpowered off-road cuts intended in any Mario Kart track by Nintendo. I don't care what anyone says, it's such a good shortcut. This maze section looks so much cleaner than it did in the original. In the original, these statues used to be like bushes that would just stick out of the ground. And yeah, like it worked its purpose of, you know, acting as like a quote-unquote maze, but it wasn't a very, you know, an easy on the eye type of thing. But so far, this looks so much better than the original. This is probably my new favorite in this DLC wave. I'm still waiting for a track though where we can like actually drive inside of Peach's castle. Almost fell off there. I'm pretty sure you could do that in 3DS, or I mean Mario Kart 7 Mario Circuit, I think. But in terms of a new Mario Kart track, you haven't really been able to do that. You know, actually go inside of Peach's castle. It's always been driving around it, which is still cool, but we're front running quite a bit on this one. And finally, my Mario Kart skill is starting to show off in the video. Okay. And also, since these other racers are giving me such a boring race right now, I'll go ahead and take this time to mention this. Me and my friend Nate are planning on probably doing a live stream of us playing these tracks also on Twitch. So I'll have my Twitch channel linked in the description. I don't know when that's going to be. Right now I'm still wrapping up finals and all my final assignments for the semester, which will be done in the next couple days. So after that, I'll be able to actually focus more so on YouTube. But I just had to record me playing the tracks on the day they came out. Wait, are we going backwards now? Okay, so I guess the way they designed the track is on lap 3, you start to go backwards to the track, which, I think that was the only other track they really did that on was the Paris track, Paris Promenade. I didn't even notice we were going backwards until a minute ago. But yeah, so I'll have my Twitch link in the description for whenever I do that stream. We'll play probably all the DLC tracks and revisit them as well as this one. Because so far I've been really enjoying the DLC tracks. Okay, so we're 2 first places in, still on track for a triple star. Let's not ruin it. Next track looks like it's the Christmas themed track. So, you know, very festive for this time of the year. Merry Mountain, okay. And then this is not a tour track. This is a brand new track design. Kind of like the Ninja Hideaway and whatever the Fall Guys looking track from the last Sky High Sunday, I think, that track. Okay, this is a very pretty track as well. The minimap looks a little boring. It's like it's almost like a Excite Bike Arena or Figure 8 Circuit level of like boring minimap. But it's a visually appealing track though. Okay. Anti-gravity, cool. Is there a shortcut right here? I'm seeing a half pipe area right there. So maybe Nintendo's gonna really start incorporating more of those like half pipe type ramps. Then we drive off of this. And that's 1 lap, and it looks like every lap's gonna be the same on this one. I love the road design right here. So we took the little railroad thing the first lap. Let's go ahead and take this road. Yeah, this one's definitely one of my favorites. I like this one a lot. Another blue shell, great. I do appreciate this one being shorter. Not every track has to be 10 light years long. So let's try out the half pipe area this time. Let's see how well it works. It's definitely not going to function as well as it did in Wii, but honestly, it functions perfectly fine, though. I was worried it was going to end up being a lot worse, but it's a perfectly fine half-pipe ramp. Let's go ahead and try. Oh, that worked. I literally predicted that. Now we're on the final lap. I think I prefer taking the railroad tracks. So we're going to take those again. Okay. So we only have one more track after this. It's 3DS Rainbow Road. Which, depending on who you ask, a lot of people will tell you it's the best Rainbow Road. I disagree. I think right now my favorite's still Wii. Either Wii or DS, or maybe even Double Dash. I think 3DS's Rainbow Road, I don't know. I just don't have the same level of nostalgia with it, probably. But I'm so excited to play it, though. It's a pretty solid track. Maybe my opinion will change with the DLC, though, depending on how well Nintendo did recreating it. Didn't hit Dry Bowser, unfortunately. Okay, so the pressure's on. We need to get a first place right here in order to seal the deal and confirm our triple star ranking. Alright, so 3DS Rainbow Road. Once again, visual. Whoa! Okay, this road is trippy. So the road's like moving towards you. Okay, this might be visually one of the coolest tracks I've seen in Mario Kart. Just the fact that the road is like kind of animated like that. I don't know how many other roads there even are like that. Yeah, so this, I'm assuming I know it says 3 laps, they probably made it a 1-lap track and just separated into like 3 different sections. Yeah, it looks like that's how they did it. So the first lap is literally basically 15 seconds then. Between the 2 cups, this one's definitely my favorite. And it's not even really a question. Really, every track I've loved besides the Berlin one, and that one, I think the only reason I didn't fully love it is because I just wasn't familiar with the design enough, and it was a little bit too like trippy. Not trippy, that's the wrong word. It's a little bit too like crazy, like with all the turns and stuff. But once I get used to it, I'm sure I'll enjoy it more. So far the Moon Cup, pretty solid Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Cup. I did make a video before, not to plug my own videos on the last track of this video, but I made a Mario Kart Wii Cups ranked video. I also did a tracks ranked video, another shameless plug. But I also did a Cups ranked. I'm probably going to do that also in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe whenever they finish dropping all these DLC cups. Because, you know, I was going to make a full-on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks ranked video again, but I made one before on an old channel that doesn't even exist anymore, but now that they're dropping DLC cups, I thought I have to wait until they're all out. Okay, this track is going by so fast. Oh, okay. I do love the road design on this one. Is it my favorite Rainbow Road? Still no, but it's a pretty good one. It's Mr. Dean approved. But yeah, so we actually got our triple crown, triple star this time. Yep, we did. Mr. Dean back on top of the Mario Kart world. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you in Mario Kart terms whenever Wave 4 comes out, or if you want to drop by the Twitch stream whenever we do it. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a fantastic, a Dean-tastic, even rest of your day. And as always, peace out.